Happy Friday, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Thank y'all so much for joining. I appreciate it. Happy Friday. Good, what, afternoon? I apologize to y'all for being late. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I apologize. But thank y'all for being here. Who we got here today? Hey, Miss Margie. Hey, Miss Liz. Hey, Miss Melissa. Hey, Miss Lynn. Hey, Monica B. Hey, Cammy Pooh. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Kimaj. I don't think I sent Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to drop links and stuff and send links and stuff, and I can't do it and talk at the same time. I'm still a little drowsy. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Y'all, please hit the like button on this live if you don't mind. If you don't mind, hit the like button on this live. Get this commentary in the algorithm driving. I'm gonna be like, okay, be safe. Um, y'all listen. Y'all know I get it. Got up at my usual 6 a.m. and got some things done. Waited to 8 a.m. Got some phone calls made. You know, I was gonna go live at what 11, I think. And then I saw Miss Raina Pooh was live. I enjoyed her live. And in the midst of me waiting after Raina ended her live, I should have just went on and came live. So I think it was like 30 minutes. I should have went on and came live, but I did not lay down, child. And of course, this old lady dozed off. Hey, E-Boots, thank you for being in here, sweetie. Shout out to my moms, E-Boots, Kimaj, Trey, D-True. Hey, oh, excuse me, y'all. Hey, D-True. Let me drop the link. D-Truth, I hope it's not too late for you to join. I know you had something to do today, but the schedule was thrown all off. I apologize. Let me see. Uh, all right, that's the link. Anybody wants to come up, join in on the commentary. Come on up, hit the link, and I'll bring you on up. Okay. All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to part two of the Murdoch murders, a Southern scandal, um, episode two review. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna do the same thing. Apparently, I got away with, I got away with it last night of playing the audio from this Netflix special. So we're gonna do the same thing today, okay? Um, Did I miss anybody? No, I don't think I did. Shout out again to Raina for supporting the channel. Thank you, sweetheart. Y'all, please feel free to hit the Cash app and support the channel. When you support the channel, you help the channel grow, okay? All right, with that being said, does anybody in the audience, in the chat, have any questions so far about what, like maybe part one, or any questions about this case, period? Y'all ask the questions that y'all got. I don't want anybody to be confused as we move on to episode two. Hey, Rice Cake, listen from the bushes working. Okay. Have a good day at work, Rice Cake. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to give y'all a minute or so to see if anybody got any questions, okay? It's raining here, y'all. It's cold. It's raining. And I'm not surprised that I dozed off. Happy Friday, D True. Happy Friday.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining. I know you got something to do today, and I appreciate you coming up until you can look there you go with the whoopee. Thank you. Let me also shout out B Sugar who supported me this morning, earlier this morning before I came on. Thank you, B Sugar, for always supporting. Thank you so much, sis, for supporting the channel. Shout out to Kimaj for supporting the channel. Thank you, sweetheart. I always appreciate you. You always support. Thank you. What's going on, The Truth? Happy Friday.
Well, you ignored me like usual. I had sent you some emails, some updates, and then I
Look,
sent you
look, I'm gonna have to just give you a phone number because people tell you I am bad. I am so awful with the emails. I got true siblings that really support me, that email me. I read their email. I won't respond. Sometimes I gotta do better with the emails. The
but
truth.
I sent you a link, or I sent you a a screenshot I had, a-
Okay.
and it was yes, the Mallory Beach family did sue them for uh, a unlawful death
Did they?
for $50 million.
My
Along,
God, today. Did they win or is it still ongoing?
well, here's the thing. I guess
Hey, Miss Carla.
I guess
Hey, phone. I'm
Buster's the
sorry.
Buster's the only one alive right now.
Yes.
But here's the thing. So Buster agreed to settle with them.
Mm-hmm.
That was in January.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: the if you get arrested for something
Mm.
and you don't get your day in court and you're killed or you die for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
you're not found guilty.
That's right. So it's not you're not presumed to be guilty. Hey, Miss
Mm-hmm.
K. But the truth. But no, listen though. Can't a family sue civilly for wrongful death even if you're not convicted? Because
Yes.
didn't yeah, you can still sue whether they're convicted or not. You can still
Yes.
sue for wrongful death, right?
Yes.
So they should still get that, right?
And the perfect example of that, yes, he's already agreed. They just have to come to terms. He has
Right,
to agree with whatever, because it was the Murdoch, it was the family
right.
was being sued, and the lawsuit contended that they knew that Paul was drunk when they gave him the boat,
Mm,
and
okay.
not it wasn't just Mallory's family. All the people on the boat sued them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they've reached a settlement. They just have to agree. I guess Paul has to agree. But here's the kicker. You
Mm-hmm.
remember? I don't think you've gotten to this yet. The uh, nurse, the male nurse that died, and
You talking
then
about the young guy?
yes, so
Yeah.
he was a male
Yeah,
nurse.
we hadn't gotten to. Well, I think it's
Yeah.
in this episode actually.
So
Hey,
the
love, baby.
the family has put up a GoFundMe to exhume his body
Mm.
because they don't agree with the coroner's report.
Never did. Never did. They
And
did. They always thought that Buster had something to do with it.
Buster is the
Well, actually, both of them,
main,
right?
yeah. Well, but they covered it up for him, but
Yeah.
Buster was the main suspect,
Yes.
but was never questioned by police.
Right. Right.
So they believe that the coroner, who was connected to the town, was paid off to say it was
Mm.
a hit and run, and they don't know who the driver was.
Wow.
But
Wow.
the theory and the rumors was that he was killed and then they ran him over with the car
Mm-hmm.
to cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
So they had killed him and then ran him over so it would look like a hit and run, and that
Right.
the cause of death was the hit and run.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a very very
Oh, I'm gonna get that information and share it. I should have checked it, but I as you could I went to sleep, child.
but it's funny, he's the only living, other than the father who's in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one alive, and now he's suspected of the murder,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he's in charge. He's in charge of the estate.
So it's like all of them except the
Yeah.
mama had a hand in somebody's death.
Oh no, they know, they think the mama knew all about it.
Well, yeah, because how do you not know? Like honestly, how do you not know? Um, it's weird. Yeah, Melissa. Yeah, didn't OJ? Didn't
Yes,
the
that
Brown suit OJ?
yes
Even though he was
that
found not guilty. That's the one that came to my mind when I said that. That
yes
came.
yes
Mhm.
the Brown family sued OJ, and OJ
Mhm.
was found uh, liable for the unlawful death of both the ex-wife and Goldman,
Mhm.
even though he was acquitted.
Yeah.
But understand, a civil case, all the jurors do not have to agree. You
Fact.
just have to have the majority.
Right.
So even though they couldn't find him guilty of murder,
They
the,
found him civilly.
yeah, these people believed he did it.
Yes. Everybody believed he did it. Shit.
Yeah, but still, that to me, that's kind of weird. I'm acquitted, but yet you people think I did it.
Mhm.
But he always said that they already had judged him prior to the civil suit. So he's saying the jury already had it in their mind. The ones that agreed that he was liable already had it in mind that he did it already, and there was no possible way that he could get a fair trial.
Mhm.
And that was he still contends that to this day, that I didn't get a fair trial when it came to the uh, the wrongful death suit.
Mhm.
But they sued for $50 million, and now I guess they're just waiting to see uh, what he comes back with and agrees to.
Mhm. Amen. All right, y'all. So this is part two. It's entitled "Murders at Moselle." I think Moselle is the name of their property, like their estate, the estate or whatever, where the house and everything is on, like that 1,000 acres. I think is it
Yes, a
one
thousand.
thousand?
Yes, 1,000 acres. It has a stream and a like a pond on it, and I think the stream is what leads to the river. I think that's where they
Mhm.
keep the boat that he took out,
Mhm.
that Mallory died on.
Mhm. All right, let me get this music on. Hopefully, this will work again today. Let me see. We're gonna play this one. And I want it. Listen, I want the music to y'all to hear the music, but I don't want it to overpower the audio. Okay. So I need y'all in the chat to let me know what's it sounding like once I play this. Okay. Here we go, y'all. Oh wait a minute. Let me hook up the Bluetooth.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
All right, here we go. Let's see. And it sounds totally different on StreamYard than it do like in the chat. Let's see.
It must have been about 4 o'clock in the morning. I got a call. There had been a boating accident, and most of the kids were at Beaufort Memorial Hospital, but they couldn't find Mallory.
Get a phone call, and it was Mallory's mom.
Okay, y'all let me know in the chat. Can y'all hear the music, but also hear the audio? Y'all let me know real quick. It's good, Miss Margie. You hear both key Mars? Okay, okay, good. Hey Tamara, thank y'all. All right, we'll continue then. Okay, can't hear music at all. Oh wow. Okay. Love baby say both. Miss Margie say both. Um, let me see.
Fawn, put your hearing aid in.
Oh, she gonna kick your ass. Ooh, baby, she gonna get you. I'm just gonna cut it up just a little bit, y'all. Just a tad. I really don't want this to get shut down. Alright. Must be my ears. Your book says sound good. Melissa said music low. I cut it up just a little, y'all.
Screaming. The phone call that I got that morning was, there was a phone call that had always shown any other parent.
Alright, y'all, I'm gonna start it over. But this is Mallory's mom and dad speaking, okay? This is Mallory. Okay.
He sounds country, don't he?
Yeah, they country. It's
No, I thought he was from New York.
No, that's Paul's girlfriend. What was Paul's girlfriend name?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they're from New York.
Yeah.
Paul's girlfriend's family's from New York.
Oh,
this is Mallory's mom and dad. So let me give y'all the synopsis of yesterday. Yesterday, if y'all anybody that hadn't seen, please go back and watch the replay from yesterday. They talked about the boating accident that was caused by Paul Murdoch. Mallory was killed in that accident, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. They talked about what happened that night and things of that nature. So we ended off with the cops or whoever making a phone call to Mallory's mom and dad. Okay, so here we go.
It must have been about 4 o'clock in the morning. I got a call. There had been a boating accident, and most of the kids were at Beaufort Memorial Hospital, but they couldn't find Mallory.
Get a phone call, and it was Mallory's mom screaming. The phone call that I got that morning was, there was a phone call that had always shown any other parent. Just telling myself that this can't be happening. It's not true. This can't be happening. I'm just focused on getting there to Beaufort. I couldn't think straight.
We still had no idea where we were going. We were just headed to Beaufort. I didn't want to go to the hospital because I knew Mallory wasn't there. We pulled over and we're like, where are we supposed to go? We finally found out that the accident had happened at Archer's Creek. So when we got there was law enforcement everywhere. Anthony refused to go to the hospital. They knew something was wrong with his shoulder, but he wouldn't leave the area because he wasn't leaving without Mallory, he said.
When I was praying, I was like, God, I question you, and I asked, why did it have to be my little girl?
What do you say to somebody who's walking up to you and there's your child and there's just missing? He's so torn up and he feels so guilty.
Like we were literally in the same exact place. How did I come up and she did?
April, the dive team in, and they were trying to dive to find her, but the current was so bad.
The current has probably carried her further out at this point. Do you make a call via helicopter? It's too far. It's too far.
And I just kept sitting there, waiting. Molly called us. The drive was horrific. You don't know what to even say or think. All we could do was pray. We could only just pray, and that's what we did. It was just me and Paul and Connor at the hospital at that time. And Connor, he could barely talk because his jaw was swollen up and he had a huge cut. And I started panicking about Mallory. And I was just asking anybody, do you have any updates? Do you know anything? Have they found her? Just trying to be as hopeful as I could be. At the hospital, it started to really sink in what had just happened. All these nurses coming in and out, asking me all these different questions, and all I really could think about was if anyone had found Mallory at that point. And I just wanted my mom there.
When I got there, they quick brought me into a room and they were going to suture her fingers because the skin was all peeled back. One of the nurses, he was standing in there and he was changing her IV, and he says, I'm not supposed to say this to you, but Paul, he's a nasty drunk and you need to get away from him as fast as you can. And then when they took her for x-ray, one of the other nurses came to me and she says, nurse to nurse and mom to mom, you need to keep her away from him.
Now, this is the hospital staff speaking to Miley. Miley was Paul's girlfriend. This is the hospital staff once they made it to the hospital speaking about Paul. Now you had I think a male nurse maybe that was putting her IV in, said that he was a nasty drunk, and then you had a female nurse who was speaking to Molly's mom, saying you need to keep her. Hey, come correct. You need to keep her away from him. Talking about Paul. Mm-hmm.
Within 10 minutes of me even being in the hospital, I'm being questioned by Officer Pritchard. He said, I need to get your statement. That's when it kind of really started to set in as this is an investigation now. It didn't take long for Alec Murdoch, with Paul's grandfather, Randolph, to show up too.
Oh, Alec Murdoch and Grandpa Paul shows up at the hospital. Probably to intimidate these kids. Okay.
Remember, he called him from the ambulance.
He did.
He didn't call anyone. He called Grandpa first.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the protocol is Grandpa calls Alex and tells Alex what to do, and then Grandpa shows up to intimidate the parents and the witnesses.
Yep.
Because the first thing Grandpa's going to say is, well, it was so-and-so that did it.
Because you remember at the scene, I think Paul told the cops that Connor was driving.
Yeah, he told the grandfather.
Oh, he told the grandfather.
On the phone, he said it was Connor. It was Connor. And that's when they were like, we got to get you to the hospital. You got to hang that phone up. And he was getting mad, and then they had to, I guess, then they took him to but that was what, hour after the crash? And when they finally, so he gets to the hospital, that's going to be another half hour, 45 minutes before they do anything, really do it. They're just assessing him. So they wouldn't take his blood for at least 15, 20, maybe a half hour. And his blood alcohol was 0.24.
Drunk is cool to burn. Probably was near alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, because the legal limit is 0.08. And if an hour and a half later or over an hour later, he's at 0.24.
Hey, Tanya.
He had to be 0.3 something when the accident happened.
Let's see. All right, y'all. Let's see. Y'all, please. Let me see. I'm checking the likes. Thank y'all for the 43 likes. I appreciate that, y'all. Thank y'all so much for the likes. If you hadn't hit the like button, go out and hit it and come on back. Hey, James. Go out and hit it and come on back. And please feel free to support the channel. Hit the cash out. Thank y'all so much for supporting this live. I appreciate it. Here we go, y'all.
These men that hold big reputations in Hampton County, I do think that they would lie, and I think they would cheat, and I think they would cover up anything.
Paul was over the top drunk. We rounded the corner and I could hear Mr. Randolph in LA. But I do remember Randolph Murdoch saying, no, you cannot interview him now. He's drunker than Cooter Brown.
Don't be taking my words, lady. Yeah, he was drunk.
Connor called. He said, Daddy.
We'll say, the truth.
She heard you call him, say he was
She
drunker than
did.
Cooter Brown.
I said he was drunker than Cooter Brown.
What you got to remember is they're not only protecting the child, they're protecting their money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're protecting the entire family.
Yes, because
at this point,
if anything, if he gets sued, they get sued because he's still considered a minor. So they're they're not protecting just him and all these things. They're protecting the family fortune.
Yeah.
In an accident, and Mallory's missing. My phone started ringing again, and it's Alex Murdoch. And he starts to tell Christine and I
that this is Marty Cook and Christine Cook. These are Connor's parents, the mother and the daddy. And this is Murdoch. I can't remember which Murdoch he said was calling, but he's calling.
It was Alex.
It was Alex calling the Connor saying Connor was the driver of the boat. Listen, y'all. Hey, SJW. Hey, y'all. Been trying to catch all the replays. I've been sick and fighting for my life, man. Oh, SJW, I'm sorry, boobies. I hope you feel better. She said, I'm fighting for my life. Oh, okay.
Connor was the driver of the boat. How he was worried about not one tragedy, but two. And he actually goes into telling us not to fret, that he can look out for Connor and don't worry. We don't.
But let me ask you a legal question, because I think I know, but I don't. So even if Connor was driving the boat, by it being the Murdoch's boat, what's up with the liability?
It's still their boat. Just like if you loan somebody your car is insured, and it's still your car. So your insurance is going to have to pay for it. But they're more thinking criminal. For Paul, that's where their brain is right now, and then that by it being Paul driving, it becomes more of a liability for them. So they're that's a little less liability.
You say it's more criminal. You mean it's more criminal when it comes to Connor?
Well, he's gonna be charged with the vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah, but when it comes to liable, like money wise, it would be the Murdoch.
It would be them. And they could be held liable for some of it too by allowing him, the boat to go out in the first place. But as far as I think they would lose more money if Paul is behind the wheel, and it becomes more of a problem for them as liability goes, because their son was driving the boat. So again, I think blaming it on Connor was more of a
as far as the criminal aspect,
criminal act, and then it cost them less money because now it's just their boat that was involved in it and not their son.
Nikki said liability would have been an issue. Connor wasn't legally supposed to drive. Well, Connor wasn't even driving, Nikki. So it don't even matter. He wasn't even driving. It was a lie.
Well, but again, do either one of them have a boat license? I don't know.
Right.
So
Right.
that would also come into play. Were either of them licensed to drive the boat? Because people don't understand. You still have to get a license to drive a boat.
Oh, okay, Nick. Okay, baby. Yeah. It's all a mess. It's just a mess. And it's a mess I think honestly could have been avoided if they had, handled Paul. Paul was spiraling. He spiraled. This boat accident was not the first, and we know it because we remember in the first episode we learned about the truck accident.
Mm-hmm.
It was so many things that led up to this, which is so sad. You know what I'm saying? Because if they had done something, or you know what I'm saying, it's sad, really sad. Okay, here we go, y'all.
Care Connor.
I remember they pulled me out of my room, get a CAT scan on my jaw, and Ellie whispered in my ear and was like, "Just be quiet, I got you, just don't say anything." So it was pretty much implying that I was driving.
When we get to the hospital, I'm trying to get to my son, and he's stopping us mid-path.
Randolph and Alex over there talking to law enforcement. Then it came in Connor's room. He said, "You've been named as the driver of the boat."
While I was having my surgery on my hand, Randolph just kind of came in and he stared at me. We heard another knock. Murdoch was like tapping on the glass door and he was like, "I need to get in there. I represent her."
Before I even got there, Alex turned around and said that he was her representation and her acting guardian.
I looked at the head nurse and was like, "Ma'am, please keep that man out of my room."
Mr. Randolph came to speak to me and I said, "Is there any word at all on where Mallory is? Have they found anything?" And he said, "Who are you talking about?" And I said, "Mallory Beach, Mr. Randolph, Mallory." And he said, "Oh, I'm pretty sure we know how that's going to end up."
Wow.
And I just couldn't even believe he said that.
Wow.
19-year-old Mallory Beach hasn't been seen since a boat she and 5 friends were riding on hit a piling in Archer's Creek at 2 Sunday morning. Rescue crews from Beaufort County and Paris Island have been combing the waters in and around the area.
Turned on my computer and first thing I saw was, oh my God, a Hampton County girl is missing. Then when we learned that a Murdoch was involved, we were like, oh hell.
Now this is the guy that works for the newspaper. The one that just said that he works for the newspaper and he knows pretty much how the Murdoch family works. He knows how much power the Murdoch family has. So when he said they found out that a Murdoch child was involved, that's when he was like, "Oh my gosh, okay."
I heard about it the next morning in church. I had Mallory as a student. The circumstances came out very quickly. The tension was rising that Paul had been driving and was very drunk. Most people heard that there might be a question as who was driving the boat.
After I left the hospital, I went to the bridge. Search parties were gathered.
Okay.
My heart would kind of stop.
You want to say something true?
That's why he tried to get into that room.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't want them talking and saying who was actually driving the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, it would have been...
He didn't want to get out,
He wanted the police not to be able to question her. And so that she couldn't say, well, no, Connor wasn't driving the boat. To keep it longer out of the press.
Yeah, because we got to remember now, this is a small town. Everybody knows them. And we're, spreads fast. Like fast.
So I don't
And
think
it's
he
all
wanted.
about
Yeah,
protecting the reputation of the family
yes, and protecting the money. So they were
and the
trying
money.
they
Yeah.
were trying to keep those because they could get to the kids and tell them, look, don't say Paul was driving. We'll take care of you. Yeah, don't say Paul was driving. I really think they were going to try to get Connor to take the blame for driving and give him some money to say he was.
Probably.
But
Probably.
again,
They so used to paying people off. That's what
yeah.
they do.
So I think Connor would have been an idiot because he would have been held for, the involuntary manslaughter or the vehicular manslaughter. I don't think there's enough money to pay for him to take that charge.
Right. All right, y'all please be sure to hit the like button and feel free to hit the cash app and support the channel. Thank you.
Every time the divers would come up, and then my heart would break after they said they didn't find anything and they had to go to another location.
I met up with Anthony and his parents, but he still refused to leave that landing.
It just kind of started getting harder on me to leave. Stayed there all day long.
He didn't want to leave. He wanted to be right there every day. Anthony would go down to the water. He would talk to her and pray. And that day, I heard him tell one of his friends, but I don't know what's going to happen. But if she came walking up out of this water right now, I'd marry her today. I'd take her and marry her right now.
We got to the bridge, and I just remember seeing her parents, and just it all hitting me again. It just seemed even more real whenever you have to face it.
Miley being her best friend since kindergarten, all I could do is I could just hold her and hug her and just cry.
I will never forget Mallory crying for Mallory. And he grew up with someone, and they have a bond the way Mallory and Mallory did. It sounded like she was begging for God to help her.
There was a law enforcement officer blocking where the boat was and where the dive team was set up. But I said, I just want to be able to go down there to look to see the scene. I just wanted to see the boat. I wanted to see where it happened. And he told me that he couldn't, that he was given strict orders that no one was to pass. And then it wasn't too long.
So Nikki said, did Paul maliciously do this or just drunk? They were so evil. I don't know. Well, he was drunk, and the census is that he was a mean drunk. And from what these people said about him, when he wasn't drunk, he was pretty much, a cool dude. He was good. But once he got drunk, that changed. Now, what you think? Do you think? I don't think he meant to crash the boat.
No, he was just an ass, and
he was an ass.
He kept letting go of the wheel to argue with them, and that's when, right before the crash, that he hit Mallory, didn't he?
He slapped her.
Yeah,
he slapped her.
He slapped her, and Connor had to grab the wheel, and then he was continually arguing, and then he went back and drove the boat, but they were arguing, and that's when it hit the pylon.
Yeah.
So again,
I don't know who this is. Hold on one second, Detroit. Go ahead and speak.
He's an ass. He's been an ass. They knew he was an ass. It wasn't like people weren't telling Mallory to get away from him. Or the other. No, Mallory is Connor's girlfriend. Am I right? Yeah. Mallory's Connor's girlfriend.
Mallory is Anthony's girlfriend. Mallory's the one that pays.
Okay.
Mallory is Anthony's girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. So he hit her because in the hospital the nurses.
No, Paul hit his girlfriend, which I think is Miley.
Yes, Miley, because
Yeah, he slapped his own girlfriend.
Yeah, and they all got mad at him for doing that, and then another argument ensued. All the while, the boat is practically driving itself. And that's what you're trying to say is Paul kept letting the wheel go and kept just arguing with them and not even watching where anything's going. So, I guess now it comes to the point where what were you guys doing while this was happening? Now they're going to start pointing the finger at each other. Well, what were you doing when he let go of the wheel? Didn't you jump on the wheel?
Right.
But again, the thing that people keep forgetting is they had an out. People offered to take them home.
Yep, sure did.
People at the party may not come forward because it was an illegal party with young people drinking.
Underage drinking.
Yeah, underage drinking and stuff. So they may not come forward that, voluntarily, to say, yeah, I was there, we were drinking. But people offered them to take them home. Leave the boat there. We'll take you home. But Paul insisted that everybody get on the boat. Remember, Paul's the one with all the money. So whatever he says goes. But the people offered, so there was the out for them.
Right.
So now it's like you didn't have to get on that boat. And I think that's where the lawsuit will get funny. Is like you didn't have to get on that boat. Then people could have took you home. You chose to get on that boat.
Right.
So, but the what they're talking about, he's an ass, and he constantly does this. He constantly argues with them.
Hey, Jay.
But in the end, they chose to get on that boat.
Yeah. Wish they hadn't. They should have stood up to him that night, that particular night, because driving, a boat drunk is just as bad as driving drunk a car. When I started driving, when my dad would teach us how, he would say cars are, oh my God, more dangerous than guns sometimes. If you don't, they can be just as dangerous as a gun, and they can. That's the same with boats. All right, y'all, here we go.
After that, I watched Mr. Randolph Murdoch and Maggie Murdoch together go down to the scene where it had happened. How was it that they were allowed to go down there?
This is Mallory's mother describing the fact that the people, the cops and things of that nature would not let her go to the scene where the boat was, but they allowed Maggie and Alec Murdoch to go. Y'all see what type of pool we dealing with here? Because see, honestly, they weren't supposed to be on that. That was a crime scene. That was a crime scene, and they were not supposed to be anywhere near it. But Mallory's mother is asking to go down. They tell her no, but the Murdochs were able to go. And they standing here watching this now.
And the crime scene involved them.
Right. Exactly.
My daughter that they were searching for. That's when I started to realize the Murdochs. They were more worried about a cover-up than they were trying to find Mallory.
That's no surprise, though. What, no surprise?
Anthony wanted to be close to where she went into that water, and they wouldn't let him either.
Alec's brother, John Marvin, towed the boat out of there.
We didn't know that at the time, but...
Shouldn't.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go back. Because I think he said the Murdoch's brother is the one that towed the boat out. How in the hell is he towing the boat out when the boat is literally a crime scene? So how was the Murdoch brother? Let me make sure I heard that right, y'all. Let's listen.
Cover up than they were trying to find Mallory.
That's no surprise, though. What no surprise?
Anthony wanted to be close to where she went into that water, and they wouldn't let him either.
Alec's brother, John Marvin, told about
Alec's brother, which is Alex Murdoch, brother, John Marvin, towed the boat out of there. How is that possible? That doesn't make any sense to me.
The police would have to release the boat to them. Now, if he is a certified whatever.
He driving, I'm looking at the images. He is towing that boat out of there on a ramp with a Ram truck.
Mm-hmm. So
it says state. Hold on, let me see what it says on the back. State Game Board or something like that. It's something state.
On the truck.
On the truck, yeah.
So he's bringing it to wherever they're going to look at it.
But he shouldn't be able to. Shouldn't be able to have access to that boat, though. The truth.
No, he shouldn't. He should have
Oh
never.
my God.
No family members should be able to touch.
I don't give a damn what his title is. Hell, I get it. They had to have the boat towed. They had to have somebody to do it. But no matter what his title is, he's still a family member.
So he could remove the beer cans, the bottles,
the evidence. He can wipe the steering wheel clean. All of that.
I think that's what they were going for, to show that Paul's fingerprints. But again, they could easily say, of course, Paul's fingerprints are on it. It's his boat. It's our boat, and he's always on it. But again, I think
he can tell for so much evidence on that boat.
Yeah. I think they could have wiped it clean to make it a reasonable doubt that maybe Connor was driving the boat.
This is something else.
Connor's fingerprints should be on it, and they would have been on it because Connor said he grabbed the wheel.
This is something else, y'all. This is a lie. I can't believe he was allowed to move. I can't believe he was allowed access to that boat. Alec Murdoch's brother.
We didn't know that at the time, but
shouldn't have. It was a crime scene.
It was a crime scene, right?
3 days of searching, still no sign of a teenager thrown overboard.
The Department of Natural Resources still have about 9 to 12 patrol boats, diver teams, and even helicopters.
You know, obviously a timeline is a little more critical as far as doing the rescues and whatnot. If somebody did go in the water this time of year, obviously you want to find them quicker than maybe.
Beaufort County deputies determined one of 2 boys were driving, Paul Murdoch or Connor Cook.
Alec then games to train my son, not him. It was very shocking, a hard pill to swallow.
We grew up with the Murdochs. Me and John Marvin was good friends. Marty and Alec were good friends. We played sports together.
Once we graduated high school, Alec went his way, I went my way. We kind of drifted apart. 3 nights after the accident, I got a phone call from Alec. And he said, Marty, we need to have a sit down. When I get up there, it's after dark. No other vehicles in the parking lot.
Hey, Mr.
I get out of my vehicle. He gets
Have
out,
a good day at work.
pulls his phone out of his pocket, and he starts, cutting his phone off and putting it in his truck and tells me, I want you to know I'm not recording you. When we get inside, he says, pick your room, Marty. I said, what you mean, Alec? He said, I want you to make sure that you don't feel like you got anything set up for you. You don't feel like being recorded or filmed or anything. But I'm saying to myself right at this moment, yeah, I'm being set up big time. He's sitting there on the table, and he says, I need to know where y'all stand. I can't even mourn the loss of Mallory for worrying about what might happen to my son. I said, Alec, I can't think of nothing else but the loss of this child. He wanted to make sure that lips were sealed, basically, that night.
I've always heard that the Murdochs would just make someone disappear.
Connor comes to me and sets me down in tears. He asked me, Daddy, are they going to try to kill me?
Oh wow! Now this is Connor going to his daddy. This is Connor going to his daddy after this happened, asking his daddy, "Do you think the Murdoch's gonna help me kill?" So that lets you know right there that these people knew what these people were capable of.
They were involved in a crime with Paul before, and they saw it covered up.
You talking? I'm gonna walk out for like a minute. I'm going to the bank. I'll be right back.
Okay. So remember, Connor was involved in the truck rollover or the truck crash that was covered up completely. So they know what this family is capable of, and they know how much money they have and who they have in their pocket. So of course, if I was Connor, and again, the easiest way to do this would be to make it look like Connor did something to himself from the guilt of it. And that would pretty much be enough reasonable doubt to get Paul off. So all these things are going through Connor's mind, and honestly, I don't blame all those things for going through Connor's mind. They, instead of worried about the kids in the car crash, Grandpa and Alex are more worried about the beer cans and the guns than whether if anyone is hurt. So they already know what his family,
they know the history.
Yeah, they know what this family's about. I mean,
right.
You're not going to walk up and immediately just start throwing stuff in a bag and getting rid of all the guns and not find out if everyone is okay.
Facts.
First thing you say is anyone hurt? Anybody need to go to the hospital? And then go and get rid of the guns and the stuff. But they didn't even do that. They didn't even say a word to them. They just walked up and started cleaning up the crime scene.
Even the night of the crash, they weren't concerned about Mallory. They weren't concerned about them people finding Mallory. They were concerned about getting to them kids and them parents to cover all of this up.
Yeah, he said that Connor's got a phone call from Alex. Like,
yep. Hey, Raina Pool.
You should be worried about your son being charged with this. Instead, you're worried about what is my son gonna say.
Exactly. Yep. Enjoy your live, Raina. All right, y'all. Let's listen. This is y'all. Baby, this is a prime example of, the dirty money. I call it the dirty money, being able to rule and being able to, baby. Let's listen, y'all.
19-year-old Mallory Beach hasn't been seen since Sunday morning. Officials say even 5 days out, they still consider this a rescue mission.
There was a fear in the back of my mind the entire time that there was something wasn't right. There were many times that I thought, why aren't they doing this or why aren't they doing that? It hasn't even registered to me yet. Did they ping her watch? She had an Apple Watch. I mean, somebody should have done that way before now. And
the morning of the accident,
it should have been done immediately.
The Murdochs did not want her to be found because if she wasn't found, there is no crime.
Wow.
I was watching the helicopter and I was praying and I heard somebody get in the back seat. So I turned around and it was Maggie.
And then so this is Anthony's mom. Anthony is Mallory's boyfriend. She said she's in her car praying, and Maggie Murdoch, which is Paul's mom, gets in the back seat. Let's listen.
She said to me, Beverly, what if they never found her? It made my mind go all these crazy directions. Like, if that child is never found, in the back of my mind, I'm going to think, what did they do?
Wow.
We had just been to church with her dad and her entire family, and we went out to the bridge, and I remember this man just like going by in his truck, and he was like, they found her. My heart sank to my stomach. Everybody else was like starting to leave, and I was like freaking out. I was like, I mean, this can't be true.
911, where's your emergency? This is Kenny Campbell. We're on the search team rescue. We think we found her.
So this is 7 days, y'all, after she went under. All these families had gone to church together, excluding the Murdochs. It was the other families. And they went out to the bridge, and that's the day that they ended up finding her. 7 days.
They found her 5 miles from the crash site.
Yep. In that cold water. She'd been in there all that time. Yep. Hold on, y'all. Okay.
It was just such a disappointing, heartbreaking feeling, and I got in my car and I drove home and I cried in my Ted's arms. Sorry.
I was happy that they found her. It broke my heart that she passed. But to know that they found her could put closure to the family.
You know, I had already started making myself understand that she was probably gone.
He couldn't even go in his room, so I slept with him in this living room. And he would wake up screaming or thinking he was in the water. He would have given anything to protect her.
Why does it have to be the one person that I'm the closest to? The one person that I did everything with. The most innocent person ever. I think she was just like too good for this earth.
Alright, thank you very much, Mallory. You're welcome.
It just clicked that she was gone. At her funeral, there's a line all around the parking lot, just people waiting to come in, and just the outpouring of love from some people I'd never met. It was just amazing that she had so many people that cared about her.
Her spirit's gone on to be with the Lord. And I know that we will be reunited with our child one day. But we want to see earthly justice handed out, because none of us are above the law.
I want to make sure that this doesn't get covered up and that justice is done. All my life growing up in Hampton County around the Murdochs, they thought they were above the law. So my friend, he actually steered us towards Mark Tinsley.
Ooh, Mark Tinsley look like he ain't playing no games. So I guess this is an attorney, Mark Tinsley, that Mallory's family is about to talk to, I think. All right, let's listen. We got a guess. Let's see. Oh, it's the wayward soul, Mark. Hello.
You call me a wayward soul?
Yeah,
Are
that's
you
what I heard. I heard that
are you
too.
speaking?
Yes, I asked, did you call me a wayward soul?
I did.
Good afternoon.
You're late.
I told you that in the chat. I said I'm on the road. I'm gonna be a little late. I'm here.
Are you coming back from a booty call, sir?
Just that, it's checkout time. It's checkout time.
I may still be in the middle of a booty call, sir. Mind your business.
All right, you know what we into, right? You know, have you been listening? You've been listening, I'm sure. All right, so let's listen. So we got this guy they finna talk to. Let's see what's finna go on. God, this is so sad. Y'all, let me tell you the images. And I know a lot of y'all watch this this Netflix special. And it's really sad, y'all. It's really sad.
They believed that the Murdochs were going to eat them up and spit them out. That's what pushed her to call me.
Okay, he's the Beach family civil attorney. Now I'm reading the summary. I don't know what this summary is from yet. It just popped up as I paused it. And let me read what it says though, since I'm on this still shot. It says on 2/24/19, I received a call from Lieutenant Camlin about the boating accident that occurred in Aldrich Creek, located in Beaufort County early that morning. She informed me that there were 6 people on the boat. 5 of them were accounted for, but one person, Mallory Beach, was still missing. I reported on scene on 2/25/19 and was briefed by Pritchard and began my investigation. Out of the 5 passengers that were accounted for, only 3 of them have been somewhat cooperative. On 3/3/19, Ms. Beach was recovered approximately 5 miles away. 5 miles, D-Truth, away from the accident location. Possible boating safety violation.
He is the okay. So you know how they have plane crashes.
Mm-hmm.
They have special investigators for that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's the state's investigator.
Mm-hmm. Because he stated violations. He said there was no type IVPFD, no sounding device, no fire extinguisher, and no or improper navigation lights. The accident is still under investigation. Possible prosecution and charges are pending.
Yeah, what he's saying is that the boat itself had many safety violations.
Mm-hmm.
The boat is supposed to have the sonar navigational to basically you'd be able, even in the dark or heavy fog, you'd still be able to do the boat. So this must be a pretty good sized boat.
It sounds like a damn yacht.
I don't believe it was I believe it was a.
It wasn't a yacht, but it was a nice.
Yeah, it was pretty good size because smaller boats aren't required to have what he said. Like they're required to have a fire extinguisher. Yes, all boats are supposed to have a fire extinguisher if you're using a gas operated motor.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying sonar and all other things were required on this boat. That
even the lights, the navigation lights, that's dangerous because they were out at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, those are I believe those are running lights. Like like the boat should have running lights on it, so that other boats can spot you. And the navigational one, like the mast boat or whatever, there's a light that blinks to let other boats know that you're there. Other things like that. So it's a good sized boat because, like I said, a rowboat ain't gonna need all that stuff,
right?
And this was 6 people were on this boat comfortably, so it's a pretty good sized boat.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go.
There's an active investigation going on. No one's sharing information with the family.
only thing I knew was that there was a girl killed, that there were a number of injuries, and it was terrible. I had my own daughter who was close in age. I remember how bad I felt for the family. I've lived in the county that's adjacent to Hampton for the last 21 years. Everybody knows everybody, and I've known Alec and people at the law firm for over 20 years.
Now, this is weird. Well, not weird, but even though he's their civil attorney, he knows Alec. He know the Murdoch. You know the Murdochs, all right?
You're dealing with the best, the most extreme, and you have to be on your toes and prepared all the time. One of the things that I did was start investigating this and figure out what actually happened to prove unequivocally Paul was the driver. February the 23rd. It's going to be a date night. Paul and Morgan, Anthony, Mallory, Connor Cook, and Molly Allman. Paul went to Parker's convenience store where he purchased about $50 worth of alcohol. Paul, who was 5'7" and weighed 148 pounds, was using Buster's driver's license because he was underage.
Now
The cashier scanned.
this is they showing the video.
Yes, that was part of the lawsuit that Paul used Buster's license to buy the alcohol, and they proved it was Paul buying the alcohol.
Yeah, they got video. Is at a convenience store. He bought beer, and he bought beer. He bought cigarettes, and this is a African American woman selling it to him. Nobody that would think that maybe she didn't know.
I don't think if they got that much pull in the town, he wouldn't have needed a fake ID anyway. He was gonna get the shit.
Yeah, this woman didn't know. I think just by looking at it, y'all, and this is wrong, but this is what I'm thinking. She didn't know who he was because she looks like, from looking at her, if you go watch it and you look at the video, she don't look like she's from anywhere where they're from. The thing about it is she just didn't. The thing I think she did wrong was she did not compare the ID to him. She may have glanced at it. She didn't look at the weight or the height or anything. If she glanced at it, Paul and Buster do look alike. They look alike to me, Tamara. But Buster is bigger than Paul, though.
Way bigger than Paul.
Yeah, he's bigger than Paul. She did scan the ID, which is what you're supposed to do. I used to work at a convenience store part-time at night. So, yeah, she's supposed to scan the ID. The ID was good. She just didn't really pay a whole lot of attention. That's all. I don't think this is a case of her knowing who he was and knowing that was a fake ID and just selling the alcohol anyway. Not just by looking at the video. Okay. Here we go.
The license, it beat the right beep, so he purchased the alcohol. Paul knew that there were going to be traffic stops that night. That was the reason that he wanted to go by boat. They go to the river house, they launch the boat, and begin to drink. Paul funnels 6 natural lights. They get in the boat, headed to an oyster roast. They get out and they go in. When they leave the oyster roast, we have Paul's phone records. And Paul calls first his father, who appears to have not answered. And then he calls his mother, Paul and Maggie, have about a 5-minute conversation. Paul's blood alcohol is 3 times the legal limit.
3 times the legal limit. 3 times the legal limit. And he called his mama, who probably was able to determine he was drunk. He probably was slurring his speech. But I ain't gonna assume shit. I ain't gonna assume. Not partner interruption. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Netflix gonna make me kick their ass. Trey and The True take over for me, and I'll be right back.
going on, clown?
No, not much. Not much. You have a good time last night?
Why you in my business, sir? But yes, I did. I'm still enjoying myself. You must know.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Because Fawn's in the chat somewhere. She was having problems hearing. I don't think she put her hearing aids in yet. So I'm hoping.
I believe I didn't Fawn. That's not me saying that.
Juicy K's in there, too. So we had to turn the volume up a little bit. Juicy K's hard of hearing too.
Stop! You trying to put me in the Dulo twist? I did not say this. Cam, I want my $100 too. I'm gonna eat them tacos today. I want my $100, Cam. Well, I was about to ask you, were you gonna take the? Take the 7 taco challenge, but have your mask on. Try to eat it.
Is that TikTok thing with the tacos?
I don't know. I just know probably Cam young ass brought it up, so probably.
I know it's a TikTok challenge with the 7 tacos, but what's so bad about these tacos? Are they hot or something?
No, they're just regular tacos. It's just to see how greedy you are. Can you eat 7 of them?
Hell, your tacos are small, aren't they?
I'm telling these people, especially like you go to Taco Bell, they're small.
They're small. Like you gotta eat. You need to order 7 just so you even feel like you ate something.
I'm gonna order 8 and see Cam. I told you, Cam, you gotta pre-sauce them. There's no rules that say you can't. You gotta pre-sauce them. You wasted a lot of time trying to tear packets open and spread it. You just gotta eat.
Well, how much? It's time to see how quickly you can eat them.
Yeah, 7 tacos in 7 minutes.
Oh, 7 tacos in 7 minutes. So does it start when you get the tacos, or does it start when?
It starts, I guess, when you say go and start eating them.
So you can pre-sauce them and everything prior to it going, or is
Why
it just
not?
part of it?
The part of it is to eat them, so I don't see why it would be a problem pre-saucing them.
Yeah, I mean, once you moisten them up a little bit, it should be pretty easy. 7, they're not that big.
Said the truth, I'm going to whoop your ass. Keep playing with me. I told you she was gonna whoop your ass. I told you. And you trying to bring Mother Boy into it, and his ass gonna fall right into the trap. Keep talking.
I was just going by what she said.
From all of his comments.
Keep talking. Keep talking. Oh, y'all. Jay, I don't know if Jay's East is still in here, but I just saw this, y'all. She reached 1,000 subscribers. Y'all make sure y'all congratulate Jay's Eat when you see her. She reached 1,000. She reached 1,000 subscribers, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all congratulate her. I just saw that. She reached 1,000 subscribers. So y'all make sure y'all congratulate her when she come in the chat. Okay, I got it back up, y'all. I don't know what the hell Netflix be doing. I don't know what the hell they got going on, but we back. Alright, so y'all make sure y'all hit that like button if you don't mind, and feel free to hit the cash out and support the channel. I'm looking forward to Fonberry whooping D-Truth ass. How about y'all? I am. Alright, let's go.
We know that because the hospital took his blood because he was acting so out of control. He's drunk. There's no question about it. The video, the kids walking to the boat, is the last time you ever see Mallory Beach alive. She's smiling, she's happy, she's in the prime of her life, which is about an hour from being over. Paul won't let anybody else drive. He spits on Morgan, calls her a fucking whore, and he slaps her.
No, Morgan is Paul's woman. Morgan is Paul. He spit on her too, y'all. Hey, Barnes Runner. He spit on her and he slapped her.
Yeah, they didn't say that when they were talking about the boat.
No.
He spit on her. Shit, you spit on me, I got to hurt you.
That's assault. Legally.
It really is. That's why you're gonna get your ass whooped. You spit on me.
Well, I'm just saying that's the lowest thing that you could do to another human being.
He spit on her and slapped her and called her a whore.
No, he said a hora. A hora.
A hora.
Boy, he was an ass. I'm sorry. All right, y'all.
Walks back to the steering wheel and he slams the throttle down. The boat hit the bridge and then goes up onto the rocks at the base of the bridge. After the crash, there were somewhere in the neighborhood 20 different law enforcement officers at this scene, and not one thought to put Paul Murdoch in front of their car to question him about what happened.
Paul was driving? Yes. I do know he was driving. Yes, he said the guy with no clothes on was driving the boat.
It is not an indication that there was incompetence, because you couldn't have that much incompetence.
The guy with
But you
no
don't
clothes
realize
on.
in that moment.
Is that what he said? The guy with no clothes on?
Yeah, with the clothes off.
Why did he take his clothes off?
He was drunk and belligerent.
Okay.
He was acting an ass.
That's enough for me right there to put his ass in the car with handcuffs on.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate dealing with naked men.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to put your clothes back on.
It's the connections that those people had to the Murdochs and to Alec. Michael Brock was assigned the lead investigator for the first 24 hours by the Department of Natural Resources. He had close connection with the Murdochs.
Michael Brock was assigned to the investigation for the first 24 hours, and he knew the Murdochs personally. See, this is the problem. It's too many people that's connected with this damn family.
But with him being the lead and he was in a close alliance with them, they knew everything the cops knew. Everything the cops knew. In the first 48 hours, that's all the evidence. But this guy is speaking about stuff that wasn't spoken about before right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh.
Anthony Cook told Michael Brock that Paul Murdoch killed my girlfriend, but that audio recording is not in evidence.
Wow.
There's another officer, Michael Paul Thomas.
Michael Paul Thomas is a very known DNR agent, and he got Paul out of so much trouble. This man was like Alec Murdoch's bitch.
Wow.
Michael Paul Thomas has been described as John Marvin Murdoch's best friend. John Marvin Murdoch is Alec's brother.
Wow.
I have phone records. And the night of the boat crash and the days after that, John Marvin Murdoch made numerous calls.
Go ahead. I'm going to walk off. You talk. I'm going to my kitchen.
But that right there explains why the brother was allowed to take the boat.
Exactly. See what I'm saying? I knew that shit was weird. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
He was best friends with the lead investigator. That's why he was allowed to take the boat, which should have never happened. Because that boat is supposed to be taken into evidence. And once you give a family member the evidence, the chain of custody has been broken. Anything could have happened to that boat. That boat could have just disappeared, and no one would have been the wiser. So that explains why the brother was allowed to just come in, hook the boat up, and take it away. And no one questioned it, because the person that would have questioned it is Alex Murdoch's or the brother's friend. There's a lot of things going on in here that from the outside should have looked funny to begin with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Barnes Runner, be safe. Be safe. Truth, I love you and I miss my. Oh, hey, I can't. We miss you too. Hey. Let's see what else I missed. Okay. All right.
You missed Fawn apologizing for what she said to me.
I doubt it. I doubt that.
I tried.
I know you did. I know you did. I know my Fawn. Fawn gonna whoop your ass. Yup. Virtually. All right, y'all. Here we go. Y'all be sure to hit the like button for your girl and support the channel, okay? Thank you.
Paul Thomas.
Love you
The
too,
Department of
Veronica.
Natural Resource documents indicate that John Marvin Murdoch also called Austin Pritchard. He is the officer who was in the hospital trying to interview the kids.
How did they have the numbers for all these people? Like, honestly, they got the numbers. Coco, happy Friday. Hey, Coco B. You true listening from work. Y'all have a great weekend. Same to you. Have a good day at work, sweetie. True. They got the numbers on speed dial of these people.
Yes, and they're saying that when they pulled the records, they had already called all these people.
Yes.
Alex Murdoch had already been in contact with everyone that was supposedly doing the investigation.
He had, Lord.
Well, he is
This is something.
a criminal defense attorney also.
Oh, well, yeah. So he would possibly have these numbers. Yeah. Okay, here we go, y'all.
It indicates that John Marvin ultimately went and got the trailer to the boat.
Thank you.
Whether he assisted in the removal of the boat or not, I don't know. But it's documented and indicates that he was there on the scene that day. When Randolph Murdoch and Alex Murdoch arrived at the hospital, employees of the hospital describe a real concerted effort by Alec to manipulate what was happening.
Alec wasn't worried about finding Mallory. He was only worried about creating confusion, making sure that nobody talked, that everybody kept their mouth shut, and if they did, they wouldn't be able to establish who was driving the boat.
We see on and on and on all of these calls from the investigators to the Murdochs. No single call was made to Philip and Renee Beach.
Wait. They called them?
Mallory.
So the investigators called them?
Okay, let me back it up just a little bit.
I think that's what he said.
Let me back it up just a little bit, y'all, so we can be sure. I'm gonna back it up. Maybe probably too much, but hey, I got to hear this.
Michael Paul Thomas has been described as John Marvin Murdoch's best friend. John Marvin Murdoch is Alex's brother. I have phone records, and the night of the boat crash and the days after that, John Marvin Murdoch made numerous calls to Michael Paul Thomas. The Department of Natural Resource documents indicate that John Marvin Murdoch also called Austin Pritchard. He is the officer who was in the hospital trying to interview the kids. It indicates that John Marvin ultimately went and got the trailer to the boat, and whether he assisted in the removal of the boat or not, I don't know, but it's documented and indicates that he was there on the scene that day. When Randolph Murdoch and Alex Murdoch arrived at the hospital, employees of the hospital describe a real concerted effort by Alec to manipulate what was happening.
Alec wasn't worried about finding Mallory. He was only worried about creating confusion, making sure that nobody talked, that everybody kept their mouth shut, and if they did, they wouldn't be able to establish who was driving the boat.
We see on and on and on all of these calls from the investigators to the Murdochs.
Yeah, the investigators were calling the Murdochs.
The Murdochs, and not a single call to the beach.
To Mallory's parents.
Yep.
Not a single call to Mallory's parents. Because you remember, Anthony's mom and dad, when they got on the scene, they asked if she had been called. And she told them, she said, look, I'm not making that phone call. I don't know who eventually made a phone call. I can't remember, but yeah. They calling all these people, making all these phone calls, but Mallory's mama and dad were not called.
Single call was made to Philip and Renee Beach.
I was
just asking about Mallory's family.
Now this is Anthony's mom speaking on camera saying, I was just asking if Mallory's mom has been called. Listen to what she says, y'all. Listen to what she says.
You have phone numbers, but I don't want to be the one to make that phone call, and I don't know.
Until we know something for sure, probably not a good idea to make that call. We don't want to create a panic, have them out here causing issues, you know.
Renee's mom actually heard of the boat accident and called Renee, but nobody still has ever said to her what, like, DNR never called her ever. No, not even an officer ever called her.
None of the law enforcement, nobody ever called us.
Not to have a law official or something contacting you to tell you your daughter's out there missing. Could have made a difference. May not have.
They learned about the accident. Wait a minute. Mallory's family found out about the accident from their mom. Like Anthony's mama asked if anybody had called them people. And they said it wasn't a good idea to call them.
Well, but they were worried about them coming down and causing a scene and them not being able to I guess, control the scene because they'd have been upset. Okay, they had every right to be upset.
And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Them should have been the first ones they called.
Well, again, Mallory's parents would be asking the questions that they don't want to be asked right now. Like who was driving? How did this happen? And they don't want to answer those things right now because they haven't got the situation handled and they don't know what the kids are going to say. They're still trying to control the kids and the narrative.
Wow.
One of the things that we did was we hired a biomechanical engineer. I'm sure people have seen crash test dummies. And a biomechanical engineer is an expert in basically movements of the body and physics. And so what he's able to do is take the positions of the people in the boat, the injuries that they receive, and figure out where they were in relation to the damage to the boat and their injuries. Mallory and Anthony are in the back of the boat. When it hit the bridge, the front went down, the back came up, and it throws Anthony and Mallory out. Mallory received blunt force trauma to her head, and after that, she drowned. Miley and Morgan sitting on the cooler in the very front of the boat. Morgan gets thrown forward and gets crushed between the bridge and the boat. Miley is to her right. She's got her feet up. She doesn't feel a whole lot of the impact. Connor gets thrown into the center console. He suffers a laceration to his jaw and a fracture. There are rod holders on the side of the console. They're broken where Connor's thrown into them. The windshield's cracked and wasn't cracked before, and that bar that Connor was holding on to is also bent. Connor couldn't have been driving the boat because he couldn't have broke those 3 rod holders. He couldn't have broken his jaw and ended up on the right-hand side of the boat. The testimony in the case is, it is a absolute fact that Connor Cook was not driving this boat.
Wow.
Mallory Beach died nearly 2 months ago when the boat she was riding in slammed into a bridge near Paris Island. Tonight, for the first time since the accident, someone is being accused.
3 charges against 20-year-old Paul Murdoch, boating under the influence.
All right, the 3 charges. And not on this, let me see. DUI, water device, death result. BUI, which is boated under the influence, water device with great bodily harm, and BUI, water device with great bodily harm. 3 charges. Okay, that's what he was charged with.
Causing death, and 2 counts of boating under the influence with great bodily injury.
Drowning and blunt force trauma to the head after the crash. That's what an autopsy showed as the reason that Mallory Beach died.
Her body was found by Good Samaritan boaters in the Broad Creek Marina area a week later.
Mind you, her body wasn't found by the officials, y'all. Remember, the Murdochs didn't want her body found. Her body was not found by officials.
These were civilian people looking for the body because they said we were out looking for the body. We think we found her.
But the officials couldn't find her.
Well, the state, I guess the divers, the water rescue team, those guys were called off when it became, like there's no possible way we're going to find her alive. They said the currents were pretty bad and the water was cold. So,
wow.
You got to think about other people's safety. They can't stay in the water that long. So they'll, once they figure out that with the temperature of the water, the currents and everything else, they have to assume that she's dead. So now it's basically, what do? We just wait for her to, for someone to find her. Yeah.
Yeah. 5 miles, y'all, away from where it happened. Yeah.
According to current 14th Circuit Solicitor's Office, 2 Beaufort County judges and the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office have all recused themselves from this case because of their ties to the Murdochs.
Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. I hate I stopped it. Listen to this.
3 charges against 20-year-old Paul Murdoch, boating under the influence causing death, and 2 counts of boating under the influence with great bodily injury. Drowning and blunt force trauma to the head after the crash. That's what an autopsy showed as the reason that Mallory Beach died. Her body was found by Good Samaritan boaters in the Broad Creek Marina area a week later. Already to current 14th Circuit Solicitor's Office, 2 Beaufort County judges and the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office have all recused themselves from this case because of their ties to the Murdochs. Communications Director Robert Kittle told me Murdoch is not getting special treatment because of his family. The controversy for many is why Paul Murdoch hasn't been booked into jail. Now, we may not hear from Paul Murdoch or see him until an arraignment hearing happens in the next few weeks. Now, the 20-year-old Murdoch could face more than 25 years in prison. Of course, we will keep you updated.
I knew the truth would come out. Felt like a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders.
It was still shocking to see such a big name go down, though, but it was always in the back of your head, like, is this actually gonna be him getting indicted and him going down for it like he rightfully should, or is it gonna be twisted around?
Paul would reach out to me. He was just trying to manipulate it in a way to where, like, I would come back, but
Paul was reaching out to Morgan, the girlfriend, trying to get her to come back to him. Paul.
I just told him to stop messaging me, like, let me heal as a person, let me cope with the death of Mallory. Let me try to wrap my head around the fact that you did this.
Paul might be going to jail. I had some mixed feelings there, like
this is Anthony, y'all.
I was scared of that, but then I was mad at him to have something that you love right there, and then it's gone like before you ever even really, much less say goodbye.
Thank you, Nikki. Nikki, thank you so much for supporting the channel, sweetie. Triggered me. Oh, okay. Is this case triggering you, Nikki? It's a lot, y'all. I know. I should have put the trigger warning up. The truth, you ain't shit. You was supposed to tell me to put the trigger warning up.
Sorry, I didn't. I didn't.
Well, stuff like this. This is.
Well, anytime you're talking about
a
wrongful death of a child, is usually it's a lot for people to think about. You never want to be the person on the other end of that phone call.
Oh no, ever, not never. I'm sorry, Nikki. Thank you for supporting the channel, sis. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. It is a trigger. I gotta admit it. And then. Not only is it a trigger because, Mallory lost her life, unnecessarily, mind you. But these people are trying to cover it up. It's just a lot. It's a lot. But thank you, Nikki.
Let's go back to all of the judges and people recusing themselves from this investigation. Now, they know that if they're involved in this investigation, they too will be investigated with whatever ties they have to the Murdochs. And they definitely do not want that.
Because if you can remember, according to, I think it was Miley, that said one of these people on this case was Alec Murdoch's bitch.
Yeah, one of the investigators was. But again, I mean,
and that he had gotten Paul out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that he had been the one to always come get Paul and make sure that everything disappears.
Yeah.
That's why he was only in charge of the investigation for 24 hours. And then questions started arising on why exactly he hasn't been charged yet.
Exactly. Yep. Thank you, Nikki.
I was remembering all these stupid decisions that he was making and how ridiculous he was acting, how difficult he was being to get along with. Maybe you do need to go to jail. You know, when are you going to learn?
Months after the case is what this saying. 3 months.
Dale Shannon, today is the first day that we've seen Murdoch in a courtroom setting. He's facing several serious charges.
3 months after the case, he makes his first court appearance. This is Paul. He looks like a child sitting in there, y'all. He literally looks like a child sitting in the courtroom. That's how young he is at this time.
Probably a half dozen reporters there. Alex and Maggie walk in. Alex, he said, "Hey, Michael, how you doing?" He's in a courtroom and your son's about to be arraigned on felony charges. And it was like we were at his daddy's hunting camp about to mix a drink or fry a fish or something.
Special treatment was given throughout this whole thing because of who they are. When he went to court that day, he had his mugshot done in a regular polo shirt.
If I would have been driving that boat that night or anyone else other than Paul, we would have spent that night in jail, I'm sure, and possibly still been in there.
He is presumed innocent. He's pleading not guilty.
He was 20, y'all. He was 20. He was 20, the truth.
Yeah, but when the accident happened, I think he was 19.
Yeah.
And he turned 20.
Maybe even 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murdaugh's attorney made his plea of not guilty to 3 felony counts and waived the hearing of any charges, which means the details will stay hidden until it goes to trial.
Going to set a personal cognizance bond in the amount of $50,000.
We did exactly what's normal. This is being handled in a very normal fashion. Thing to say about why he decided to plead not guilty? Because he's not guilty.
He never went behind bars. He never had handcuffs. Never wore the orange suit. You know, just like nothing ever happened.
Paul Murdoch has been indicted on felony charges, including boating under the influence causing death.
Beach's parents walked out saying they had no comment. His trial date in the criminal case has still not been set.
Two years after the crash, but now in 2021, 2 years after the crash.
After Paul had his court hearing,
Paul had his first court hearing in 2021. The accident happened in 2019. And you got motherfuckers around here acting like court dates are supposed to be set the next day. I'm just saying. This is how the law works, y'all.
Ooh, some shade. Some shade.
It ain't shade, it's fact.
It is.
It's just
again,
facts. The truth, and we know it.
It took him 3 months to charge him. He pleads not guilty, and then again, his lawyers will, keep delaying for discovery and other things and then to ask the court to seal the findings so it can't be published in the paper. I mean, it's got to be something is happening here, and no one wants to really look at it because you just asked the court not to release any information, and the court grants it.
But what I'm stressing and emphasizing for the haters in the back, the ones that want to come out here and act like they doing something because they calling every day to a courthouse to ask for a court hearing or a trial date. The shit takes time. Investigations takes time. And it's not, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna just let that go. We're gonna stick to this right here.
Log cabin on Moselle. It had been 2 years since the boating accident, and you'd see Snapchat stories.
2 years after the accident, Paul is still out on bail, bond. No trial date. He's just out. 2 years. Okay?
The people still drinking with Paul, basically living his normal life as he would before the accident. I was angry about it, and I cut them out of my life because I don't feel like they were honoring Mallory the way they should have. After the boating accident, I had gone through counselors already, and none of them really fit. I felt like they weren't helping me just to unpack everything. From the boating accident, the survivor's guilt, and then going to losing one of your best friends at such a young age, to my trauma from my past relationship with Paul.
For her to hide what she hid for so many years it kind of hurts me inside. To the day of the accident, I had no idea about the spitting and the hitting and the slapping and the demoralizing of her. I didn't know.
This is Morgan's family speaking on the fact that they did not know that Paul was abusing their daughter. They didn't know about the abuse that Morgan suffered by the hands of Paul. They didn't know until this accident happened, y'all. She hid it.
And I can honestly tell you right now, I still don't know honestly how much it went on before.
It must have went on for a while because the day of the accident, that was it.
She was done. That was it.
That was the end of it.
She always said that Mallory saved her. And that's one way, really, she saved her.
Me and Paul, I have not seen him at all since a couple of days after the crash. I was trying not to look at him because I was still mad at that moment in time, and I finally could tell he was staring at me. He was waiting on me to look at him, and I finally looked over at him, and as soon as we made eye contact, he under his breath he said, I love you and I'm sorry, and I said I love you too, but you need to go.
I really follow South Carolina very closely. I cover the South for the Wall Street Journal. I have now for almost 17 years. And so I started following the case very closely. And the lay of the land in kind of late spring, early summer 2021 is pretty grave for the Murdochs. Paul was charged criminally in the death of Mallory Beach. And that case was kind of working its way through the system, and yet Paul's behavior and run-ins with the law were continuing in spite of the scrutiny he was under.
How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got you at 78.
78?
Yes.
I realized I was speeding when I saw you.
Okay.
So after being charged, being out on bail, bond, whatever you want to call it, Paul gets pulled over for speeding. He was doing 78. He sounds drunk. I don't know if they're gonna say he was intoxicated in this moment. He sounds like it to me, but yeah, he's still. What they're saying is, even though he was out, waiting for trial, he still got into trouble.
Murdoch is expelled from the University of South Carolina for plagiarism. And layered upon that, there was significant stress in Maggie and Alec's marriage. Maggie Murdoch was becoming aware that bills were going unpaid. It has persistently been said that she had hired a forensic accountant to help sort out their bills. The other rumor that's been printed is that she had also visited with a divorce attorney.
Okay, so now we're coming up on the problems within the Murdoch marriage. Okay, it said that Buster, and I think I may have missed that because I paused it right in the midst of it. Buster was expelled from college for plagiarism. We all know what plagiarism is. You take someone else's work, turn it into the teachers as your own. Paul was continuing to get in trouble. Okay. Even though he was out on bail, bond, whatever. Buster was expelled. Paul was still getting into trouble. Maggie, the mother, was noticing that bills weren't being paid. Okay. And so she hired a forensic accountant to come in. They start having marital issues, y'all, which they probably was having before, but they just escalated.
So there were indications that the family was under increasing amount of stress on multiple levels.
While everything was happening with their family, I don't know because I wasn't around, but I've known him for so long. I know how he is. The 2 years that Paul went through everything, he was hurting. He wasn't just walking around like he got away with something like everybody was making it out to be. He was scared.
This is June 7th, 2021.
So the wrongful death lawsuit had already been filed for $50 million.
That was another stressor. June 7th, 2021. This is the day, y'all, of the murder, I think, of Maggie and Paul by the hands of Alec. Okay? Let's listen.
Alex Murdoch, at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police to get answers immediately.
Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road.
My wife and child just got badly. Nobody. They're not either one of them moving. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Stay on the line with me, okay?
I was at work with Renee. We heard quick because both of us are nurses. They're in the prison. She just instantly had a panic attack. She's like, you need to find out right now what happened.
I got a phone call from my mom that Paul and Miss Maggie were murdered. And I just had no words. The boy I dated for 4 years was murdered. His mom was murdered as well, next to him. I know I'm angry at Paul, but it hurt my heart to know that a human being was maliciously murdered. A mother and a son. It was just really hard for me to process.
So I heard about the double homicides of Maggie and Paul right after it happened. The shootings happened late at night, so it took a few hours to report it out, and there was so little information. I was getting texts from so-and-so, did you hear what happened down in Low Country? But by the day after, 2 days after, it starts to dominate the local and state news.
Two members of a well-known Low Country family were discovered overnight.
A murder mystery playing out behind the gates of this hunting lodge here in Colleton County. 22-year-old Paul Murdoch and his mother Margaret Murdoch were the victims of last night's shooting. That shooting occurred down this long driveway you see behind me. Of course, when we learn more.
We are told very little by state investigators. Law enforcement held no press conferences, have answered no questions except by statements.
Law enforcement isn't saying much, but this much we do know. There's a killer on the loose.
There was an incredible amount of fog of war in the hours after the homicides. But what we do know is what Alec Murdoch told state investigators. Alec was home, took a nap, got up, didn't see Maggie and Paul. The property's vast. He didn't know where they were there. Texted them and said, I'm going out to check on mom and dad. And went to go check on his dad, whose health was failing rapidly after a long illness, and his mom, who suffers from dementia. Took a while to get there, took a while to visit, took a while to come home. And so when he rolls back up to Moselle at 10:15,
he left home at 7:31 to go check. This is Allen, the night of the murders. He supposedly left home at 7:31 to go check on his parents at their home. And he comes back home at 7:31. He comes back home at around 10:20 p.m. So he said.
This is the maid's testimony at the mother and father's house that we were talking about. So the maid testified that he was only there for 20 minutes. And cell phone data places him back over there. So
20.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The problem I have is that he knew that people would think that this was them killing Paul for what he did to Mallory.
He knew that. He knew people felt like it was taking too long for him to go to court. It was a lot of angry people. People were mad at Paul, honestly. And so he knew that that's the first thing that people would think, that somebody, got fed up. Maybe one of the family, maybe Mallory's mom and dad.
Yep.
Other people, somebody else just got fed up.
Connor, Mallory's boyfriend got upset because he got away with, or they think he's getting away. There was a whole bunch of people that would be first pointed at before him.
Especially since he was so-called visiting his parents at the time.
Yeah, so basically he thought that was his out. Well, there's going to be, that's why she kept saying there was a fog of war. We didn't know what was going on. We only had what Alex told us, and they weren't saying anything else.
How you talk too much? Welcome. Y'all, please be sure to hit the like button and feel free to hit the cash out. All right, here we go, y'all.
Discovers the chaos that's happened.
Love you, Nikki.
The shootings happened out near the kennels, which were a short drive away from the main house.
Right.
Maggie was shot multiple times in the chest and back, and positioned almost like she's running away from something or someone. Paul is shot once in the chest, which is just a terrible way to die, and yet he was shot again at the neck and head. He was shot so seriously that it just barely recognizable.
Let me tell you something. I just gotta say it. Oh my God. For a man to be able to shoot not only his wife, shoot his wife down like a rabid dog, y'all, but his son too.
Okay, but you're forgetting something. his wife was hinting at a divorce.
She was.
He knew this.
Hey, foresee. Hey, Mike. Hey, CMA. I'm sorry. Thank you. You talk too much.
His son has brought all of these problems down on him. They say he did it to get the heat off of all the other things he was being investigated for. He was investigated for, I guess, embezzlement, and other. I think.
Yeah, because supposedly he stole monies from his own law firm.
And one client.
And a client, right?
Yeah. So he was being investigated by the feds for that. And now,
I don't see wait a minute. I do see the troll. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Truth hurts. Why is Rat Boy on your panel? He told me to go eat orange chicken and call me Ching Chong. When? Y'all get out my. You know what? Okay, Ching Chong. Bye, Ching Chong. Bye.
I haven't heard an Asian come on my page yet. That one's a lie. I know my orange chicken. I would have said eat rat or something, a cat and dog. Not
Trey,
no
please don't call nobody Ching Chong. Trey,
yeah,
please.
I like orange chicken. Oh man,
that don't sound like nothing I would say.
Absolutely not. You say a damn lot, but damn. Y'all just stop my chat. Well, this is.
Are they blocked? Do I not have this? Because I don't see it.
Hit you got in order for me to see it, because I didn't see it either. And I'm watching my chat because I'm trying to, convert with my people. I had to hit live chat. I was not on live chat.
Live chat either. Oh, there it
and
is.
That's when I saw it. When one who said something? I think
little bing bing zing.
Tamara said it. Tamara had seen it. My God, damn! You people need to get a life. Anyway, what was we saying, y'all?
We're talking about the murders of Paul and the mother.
Yeah, and I was saying I couldn't imagine a man doing that to his wife and son, but yeah. You were saying how, yeah.
Son probably was just because he was a witness to what he saw the mom being killed.
You think so?
Yeah, he probably saw it and was like, yeah, can't leave no witnesses.
Wow.
They said that they weren't far from each other.
I think he got rid of Paul because Paul was that whole trial coming up or whatever potentially happening.
And Paul was just the loose
room shaker.
He was the weakest link of the family. He kept getting everybody in trouble because Buster is an idiot. He's stupid, but he wasn't. That $50 million lawsuit pissed Alex off.
And he already wasn't paying the bills, according to the lawyer.
Yeah, I think that I heard that too. Tamara just said, I think he killed Paul first and then the mom. So it's like, that's the way I thought it was too. I thought he killed Paul first and then
because you gotta think about it. They say it was like Megan was running away. So maybe he did shoot Paul first and she heard the gunshots or saw it and she was trying to run. Because they said it was like she was running away. Ooh, you talk too much. Say in truth, I think Buster is gay and was sleeping with the dead boy from that town. Oh my.
Yes. Look at the dead boy, the hit and run. Look at him. Look at him. And you could tell that he had that look to him. So that's what the rumor was that he knew something about Buster, and Buster killed him, and then they took the car and ran him over 2 or 3 times.
Oh my God!
And then they said, oh, somebody, because they found him not far from the house.
Wow!
Like
it's on Law Crime TV, Samara. Oh, let me write that down. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me write that down. Law Crime TV. Is that on TV or YouTube? Is that on YouTube? Let me know, sweetie.
But that
I've never
was
heard that one.
Yeah, that was the rumor, and he's been long linked to that crime. But because they paid off the coroner to say that it was that he wasn't dead until he was hit by the car. That there's
you talk too much. Say he was an escort as well. Be true.
He was going to nursing school.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
So he was going to nursing school. So
he could have been doing it to pay for schooling, maybe.
Pretty much, but they're saying that the coroner said there was no previous wounds, meaning that he wasn't beat up or anything like that. All the wounds came from the car hitting him. But they want to exhume his body and have somebody else take a look. So they don't know if maybe they're thinking he was poisoned or something, or there's another wound that they see other than the hit and run. So they're supposedly gonna exhume his body. I forgot when they said they said they just got the money. Here's the article right here.
Oh, Law and Crime Network. Okay, Tamara. Law and Crime. I think I know about Law and Crime Network. I think I've seen that one. Okay. All right, Tamara. I'll look it up, sweetie. Thank you. All right, y'all.
Somebody gave them $1,500 for this. To have the body exhumed.
It's only right though. That mom wants to know. All right, y'all. Let's listen. My God.
So Alec Murdoch calls 911. Well, the 911 call, it's one of those things where different people hear different things.
Now I have an Alex Murdoch on the line.
Okay, so what is her name?
Maggie and Paul.
Is he breathing at all?
No.
Is she? Okay, do you see anything? Do you see anyone in the area?
No, ma'am. I've been gone. I just came back.
Don't want you to touch them at all, okay?
Already touched and trying to get to see if they were breathing. Oh.
I think we can safely say Alec's voice was elevated. He was speaking rapidly. He was breathing heavily. And you can hear the dogs barking. It is a chaotic, nutty, dark scene.
This morning, members of the Murdoch family speaking for the first time since their brother Alec Murdoch found his 22-year-old son Paul and his wife Maggie shot to death outside their South Carolina home last week.
How's your brother doing?
He's upright and looks strong and making his way, and then he just breaks down. And
So this is Alec's brother talking to a news team. That these men all look alike. It's weird. I know it's not weird, but them genes, like Flexi said last night, them genes are strong. But this is Alec's brother speaking about how Alec is, and after the murder of Paul and Maggie.
It's tough for us.
It changes you as a family. And I can't imagine the horror that my brother's experiencing.
The Murdochs telling us Paul had been receiving threats from strangers, people they say they didn't know. Were they, violent threats?
I didn't think it was a credible threat. If it was, I would have tried to do something or notified someone. But I guess, maybe I made a mistake.
Alex and Buster Murdoch announced a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the people who killed Maggie and Paul Murdoch.
This sick bastard had the nerve to put out $100,000 reward for anybody with any information on the murder of his wife and son.
That's free money. He knew he knew he'd never have to pay it.
Ooh, my God.
You've got a dead mother and son on the ground, not far from each other.
Thank you, Tamara.
With this community, who killed Paul and Maggie?
Speculation is running wild in all directions about what might have happened.
I think this may very well be related to the death of Mallory Beach. What was the motivation other than anger or revenge?
At least publicly, the Beach family extends its sympathies. But, some could say, or some would wonder, is there's someone who has an interest in this, would they have targeted and gunned down this young man because of the death of Mallory?
It's a small town, so everyone's just like swirling around and talking, and everyone's kind of looking at the people that were on that boat that night.
My fucking girlfriend gone, folks. Hope you fly fucking hell.
They had law enforcement coming out there to my job. They look me in my eyes and say, "Hey, you're kind of a lead suspect, and I need you to give me your alibi." But
now this is Anthony. This is Mallory's boyfriend, Paul's friend. And he's saying he was the main suspect in the death of Paul and Maggie. This is Anthony.
Because Alex made it that way.
Yeah.
Alex said, Paul was getting threats. There was a lot of threats. I don't know where they were coming from.
Mm-hmm.
That's a setup to say, look what he did. And honestly, I think Alex just took the opportunity. So I can get rid of both of them right now, and they'll blame it on somebody trying.
But that's just to me, honestly. Other than the fact that the police always look at the closest to the family, which is him, but with all the controversy surrounding the family, everything that was happening in that moment, I can see why he thought that way. Yep. Y'all, it is raining cat, mules, and cows outside. I love it. I just don't want no tornado or no bad storm or nothing, but I love the rain. Tamara, I'm going to listen to those calls. Oh, excuse me, y'all, too.
Put your trigger warning up. This way, if Flexie's watching, she doesn't get triggered by you saying tornado.
Oh, God, right, Dorothy. We got to think about Dorothy.
We got to think about Dorothy and Toto.
Yeah, and Toto. You talk too much, and she's listening, I can guarantee you. You talk too much, but I want to know, did the wife call their housekeeper? They ain't talked about that yet, but I'm sure it's coming up. All right, here we go, y'all. We got like 7 more minutes on this, okay? Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for supporting. Make sure y'all hit that like button and feel free to hit the cash app to support the commentary in the channel. Thank y'all.
Well, cool. You talking about one of my good friends here.
There were several things implying that, because they tried to blame Connor for being the driver of the boat, that he was going to be looked at more serious than the others.
Never been the one to just like freak out and just lose my shit, but it's rough.
So beautiful to me.
It does say in the Old Testament, an eye for an eye. I think Paul was afraid, as I've had others tell me that they were afraid of me, of what I was going to do, or what I was going to happen, because they knew how much I love my kids and what kind of bond.
This is Mallory's dad speaking. He said that, basically saying that he understood that people would be looking at him because his daughter was killed, and he said something about eye for an eye.
They definitely would have put somebody out in front of my house and left them out there for years.
Let me tell you something. That eye for an eye mentality is a real thing. I'm telling you. Several of my family members I had to be talked down. I'm just saying.
kids. A law enforcement officer contacted me one evening on my way home from work, and I think my response to him was that I was surprised you hadn't called sooner.
A SLED agent showed up to my work and she wanted to get DNA samples of my hair, my fingerprint, and my spit. Me being involved with the family, I can understand. But I looked her in the eyes and I said, do not overlook Alec Murdoch.
Oh, now wow. This is Morgan, Paul's ex-girlfriend, that told the police, look, I give you whatever you need to prove my innocence, but you need to look at Alec.
Sheriff's Office as well as SLED say they don't have any leads, but they don't believe that this incident should be a worry for the public.
While this is being called a double homicide, there is no danger to the public right now, and that at last report, they were not looking for suspects in this case.
It is unusual, if you talk to criminologists, for there to be no suspect descriptions, no sketches, no vehicle to be on the lookout for. From the beginning, police said there was no danger to the public, so that's been a big question looming over. Why is there no danger to the public? It's just been eerily silent about what in the world happened here. At this point, we have precious little information to go on. Early on, Alec Murdoch's lawyers asserted that he has an airtight alibi, which was visiting his parents that evening. And over time, we've learned more about the two guns actually used. Paul was shot multiple times by shotgun. That has been much harder to trace. The shotgun does not leave a ballistics trail in the same way as a rifle. But we know from social media pictures of Moselle that there are multiple shotguns on the property. Maggie was shot with an AR-15 style rifle. That's very unusual. It's chambered in what's called Blackout 300, which is a very specific type of bullet. And there were shell casings left at the scene. The gun that Maggie was killed with was this specific type of rifle. And guess what? The Murdochs own that type of gun. And it has not been turned over to investigators, ruling out as the murder weapon. In the past, 10, 15 years ago, say there was something bad that involved the family, it might have kind of gone away quietly. The double homicides of Maggie and Paul really changed everything.
All eyes are on Hampton, South Carolina in the Low Country. If the Murdochs had a skeleton in the closet, it's out now.
Now they've gone back to 2018. Don't know what they're finna talk about, but it's got 2018 up on the screen. Let's see who they're finna bring up now. Probably one of the other murders, y'all. All right, 2018.
I think this is the maid.
Maybe, because it's at the house. They're showing the house.
Yeah, I think this is the maid.
Yeah.
What's going on out there? My housekeeper has fallen and her head is bleeding. I cannot get her up. Okay, is she on the ground or is she upstairs? She's on the ground. She's on the ground. She's on the ground. Is she conscious? No, not really. Okay, do you guys know who she is? Ma'am, can you stop asking her? I already have them on the way.
Am I fearful of repercussions from them? Yeah.
People wouldn't talk about the Murdochs making people disappear.
I don't think the story's even close to being over. And yes, I'm a little nervous about sitting here and doing this now.
This is Corporal Duff from South Carolina Highway Patrol. This is in reference to an incident in Hampton County on Standy Run Road.
A young white male, severe head trauma.
Let me ask you this. When he said that he felt like he was being followed, did he say, there's a car following me, or?
I says, are you walking? Because I hear cars going by, and then the call dropped.
And there are facts that don't add up, and bodies tied to this family.
I did hear a name, and that name was Murdoch. Murdoch. Everybody keeps coming up to me and saying it was Murdoch boys.
The Murdoch boys are behind it.
I confronted them about it, and then they just kind of like laughed it off. My gut told me that something was going on.
Everyone who knows Morgan died. That's what's going on.
Okay, let me read what's up on the screen. they basically gave y'all a synopsis of what's coming up in the next episode. But the Department of Natural Resources declined to comment or make their officers available for an interview. Those are the officers that investigated the boat crash. And it says Michael Brock now works for SLED. Okay. Okay. Alright, that's the end of that episode, y'all. You talk too much, and then Alice offered the family to sue. Oh yeah, that's gonna be child, it's a lot. It's gonna be in the next episode, but that's the end of that episode, y'all. Let me cut the music off now that I'm done playing, and we can talk for a minute. All right, y'all. It's a whole lot. Thanks for dropping the links, Fun Berry. Thank you, boo. I appreciate that. All right, then, True, what you got?
Well, to think about it, most people would never, people die in your family. People die of old age. People die of medical conditions. But this family has been connected to 3 murders. All of them strange. All
That's
of them,
okay. You talk too much. That's okay.
you talk too much. You can come up and talk on here with us. But but to have 3 murders pinned to your family, and all of them clouded in mystery, and no one basically has been held accountable,
unsolved.
The maid, this kid, because I believe the road that this kid died on was just outside the that road that leads to their house.
Because it's a road you have to literally take. Once you make the turn onto that road, you have to travel that road. Because that estate is huge. It's huge and it's beautiful.
So I mean, just that, and then to have your family linked to the murder. Buster's linked to the 2015 death. That they always suspected that the maid was pushed down the stairs. Then you got the boating accident. I mean, it's too much. You might be able to get away with one strange thing, but 3 strange things. And they're saying that there's a lot more going all the way back to great grandpa.
I done seen some people in the chat put it. I think I've seen it at least twice that they may need to check their property for bodies being buried. I'm like, wow.
Well, I think that, because great grandpa was in that town. Grandpa was in that town, and then Alex was in that town,
and then there's brothers.
And brothers and everything. They were like, we'll stay right here where we're comfortable. We ain't got to go nowhere. But this, the whole thing is just strange, and that people just looked away, and then you got people tied to them investigating, and judges recruiting. I'm going to recruit myself because I don't want to be investigated.
Yep. DNA is real, right, Nikki? Yeah. Nikki said, dig up everything. Oh Lord. Y'all, this is deep. It's really deep. And mind you, y'all, after we get through this Netflix series, which we're gonna do episode 3, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Once we get through episode 3 next week, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover the trial. And then there are some phone calls, some jailhouse phone calls that Alec Murdoch made. We're gonna cover all that over the weekend. I'm gonna get all my stuff in line, get it together, and yeah, we're pretty much gonna cover the trial, y'all, and see what comes out during the trial. Um, I will be back later on my other channel. Don't know what time, only because um I'm going over to my parents' house after my mom gets off of work. My daddy's birthday is tomorrow, y'all. Don't ask me his age. But my daddy's birthday is tomorrow, and my parents are going out of town tomorrow afternoon, and they won't be back until Monday. So we're going over to my parents' house. Me and Tony going over, and my girls. We're going over to my parents' house to sort of kind of celebrate my dad's birthday because he won't be here tomorrow. And so whenever I come back from that, I'll probably go live on my other channel. But I am. You talk too much. It's my daddy's birthday, and he don't really like a lot of hoopla for his birthday. But my mom is taking him out of town. They're gonna leave tomorrow, and they'll be back Monday. So we're gonna go over there today before they leave. And so yeah, but I'll be back once I get back home on my main channel. I ain't gonna tell y'all what we're gonna talk about, but it's gonna be good. The truth. I appreciate you hitting the link today. I do.
Thank you. Trey, you got any plans?
Oh God, listen. Oh God.
Tacos live.
Oh, tacos. Oh, you gonna do?
When are you doing the tacos live, Trey?
Man, about an hour or two.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Did you get the rules yet?
I don't need. I'm making my own rules. I'm gonna eat this.
That's not.
You can't make your own rules. Trey, it's a challenge.
Look up. Where's I am Cam? Where's I am Cam?
He just debating on can I pre-sauce him or not. I don't even need no sauce, G.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you're doing it, is it? Can you do it in 7 minutes?
Baby Petty is on vacation ebooks. Baby Petty, he child free. That's why he acting an ass. Baby Petty celebrates spring break.
Are you referring to the booty call that he just got back from? Is that what
I'm just saying he acting an ass. I ain't saying what all he doing. I'm not finna write on my friend. Okay.
So this doesn't seem that difficult. 7 tacos in 7 minutes. That's a minute for each taco. Are these big tacos? Are these
they Taco Bell tacos, G.
Taco Bell tacos?
Cam just wasted time saucing them junks and shit.
So 7 minutes.
Did Silas pass? Did Silas and her daughter win? I know B. Nicole failed.
She couldn't eat 7 tacos. Well, women.
Everybody can't eat no 7 damn tacos, man.
Look, you know the box. They sell 8 tacos in, or is it 10 tacos in a, or 12? Yeah, 12 tacos in a box. I'll put that down in the sitting.
I might just fuck it. I might as well get 12. Who just buys 7 tacos?
Oh
God! It's gonna cost you more than the box.
I'm not gonna try to eat all 12 of them. I'm just gonna eat the 7.
Trey, what you think your time gonna be, Trey, for the 7?
I don't know, probably 6 minutes, 5.5. I hadn't eaten anything all day. I'm high. It's gonna be a cinch.
I don't see the difficulty in it.
Cam bet me $100. I want my money, woman.
You know what the funny thing about it is? I could do now if I was to attempt that challenge. To be honest, y'all, if I was to attempt that challenge, I would be doing soft tacos and not hard. Yeah, I would. I would do the soft tacos.
Yeah, but the soft tacos take more chewing.
But I that's what I'm saying. I think I would be able to do the soft tacos and not the hard. I'm just saying.
I ain't doing soft. That's gonna fill you up after about 3.
Yeah, it's extra chewing though, because soft tacos you got to chew.
Fuck the chew. I mean, you ain't got to. No, fuck the chew. I think I can take I can eat soft tacos in like 2 bites each.
Yeah, I could do hard tacos in like 2
No, I
bites.
can't do hard tacos like that. They take to me the hard tacos are more difficult than the
Yeah, but,
soft.
but half the shit falls out when you go to eat it.
Not with the soft taco. I would do the soft.
Look, I was in the military for a long time. I learned to eat very quickly. Very quickly.
Exactly. We did everything double time.
Yeah, you eating quickly.
We're gonna see, Trey. You talked a lot of shit about this challenge, and we're gonna see. Just make sure you come live, sir. Be
Well,
ready.
if I fail live and I owe Cam $100. But Cam, I want my money because I'm gonna win.
Damn.
I don't see the challenge in this.
Y'all wouldn't see the challenge. Don't nobody sit around and eat no 7 damn tacos at one sitting.
I don't see the challenge either, but they keep calling me out like I'm a pussy or something. So you know.
I mean, I can see if there was like hot peppers or something all on them, and it's hot. You got to take a drink, but damn, you don't have to drink between shit. Eat all 7 and then drink.
Oh God. Nico says Silas failed and the child had done 7, but the kids aren't really swallowing them in the 7 minutes. Oh wow. I like hard shell, don't like nothing soft. I like hard pita too, but I like soft tacos. Fun. I'm just saying.
Now you got Sweet Berry talking like this.
Fun nasty. Fun been nasty. You just didn't know it. She's freaky.
Wow.
Yeah, she's freaky.
Next Juicy K gonna be acting up like this.
Child. Hey, Kimberly. All right, you okay, sweetie? Y'all, I can't never have a live without some freaky entering the commentary. It's kind of sad. Hey, Sheila. It's really sad that y'all can't stay on course.
How you blaming me? We weren't the one talking about I don't like soft things anyway.
Well, Fun, you did indicate it, Fun. You said I like hard shell, don't like nothing soft, so my mind went straight to a soft pita. I'm just saying. Don't judge me for how my brain thinks. Okay?
Needle dick.
Anti-way.
Yeah, stupid. I cannot. Oh, Juice Kim say, excuse me, the truth, I'm a lady.
Okay, all right. Well, we talking about hard shells. I don't know what the hell Truth Hurts talking about.
I'm just saying, when Fun talk about hard and soft, I can't help because my mind go to Peter. I can't help that. It's not my fault.
Poor Tony.
Ain't no damn poor Tony. He better just sleep now. Because I knocked his ass out before I came on live, so he wouldn't get on my nerves.
Trey, that man must be exhausted.
No, I'm exhausted, damn it. I'm exhausted.
He must go look for somewhere to hide and be like,
no, the fuck he don't. No, the hell he don't.
Let me get in this closet right here. Hope she won't find me.
I tried to tell him we got it. I tried to tell him the other night. I said, "Look, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna move out the bedroom. I'm gonna move into the guest bedroom." He told me, "What the fuck you talking about? You must be moving out the house. Ain't no moving into no guest bedroom." Tell him don't play that shit.
I'm just trying to get some sleep.
Shit, I be trying to get some sleep.
I wake up with it in my face and everything. What?
No. See, I ain't that one. He the one. That's Tony. Y'all got it twisted. Just because I talk a lot of shit, it is Tony all the way. I'm telling you what it is. And I'm being honest. I ain't finna lie on him.
I think Tony's the tired one here.
You crazy. Why you think that motherfucker take naps? He take naps just to be up the fuck with me when I go to sleep. The fuck? He needed a child. And then he got another appointment, y'all, on the 28th. Can't go back to work till he go to that appointment. So it's like what? 2 more weeks? Is it 2 weeks? I gotta. Oh,
What was that?
y'all just pray for me. Y'all pray for me, okay? That's all I'm gonna say.
You know, it's the ones that deny. Deny. Them the ones you gotta watch.
I'm just saying the truth. It is not me. I promise it's not me.
I could just see Tony going, "What? Why y'all think it's me? Because your woman out here denying, so they blaming you."
I ain't got to lie. I don't have to lie.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, whatever. Of course, you and Trey gonna take up for him anyway. That's just how it works. But I'm being honest. Y'all gonna take up for him anyway.
It's true. Juicy said you could have all that. I just want the money.
Damn, Juicy. I'm gonna fuck Juicy up. I'm gonna fuck her up. She thinks she's supposed to have it easy and I'm supposed to do all the work. She got me fucked up. Ooh, that rain, y'all. See, I'm finna go wake him up right now. Okay, I'm finna go, y'all.
All right. Trey, good luck in your challenge. I hope
Trey.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself sick.
I don't need no luck. I'm not gonna be sick.
Okay, I'm just saying. Cam calling. She pulling your pussy cord. Cam pulling your pussy cord. Shout out to Cam. We gonna see this, y'all. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready to see Trey do this challenge on live? I can't wait. I cannot wait. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining. I appreciate it, y'all. I listen. I enjoyed this live. I really did. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to D True.
I appreciate that you let me talk a lot.
Oh, I love you on this law shit. I can't get past it. Like I really don't. I really be wanting you to hit the link every time. Yep, Tamara. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna get ready to. My mom gets off at 4:30, so she already told me if I be late, she gonna choke me. So I can't be late. So I'm gonna get off of here and start getting ready. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for supporting. Shout out to my moms that were able to show up, my true sippers, and also my monetary contributors. Thank you to Trey and D True. And I'll see y'all later. Trey, are you doing another live other than the taco challenge?
You know I got a flame biscuit up.
Oh yeah, you got flame biscuit up. Okay, great. So y'all get ready. It's Friday. It's the weekend, baby. We in too deep. Let's go. We ready. Thank you,
Bye.
Tamara. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be good. Listen, y'all be safe, be blessed, never stress. And we'll see y'all later. We'll see y'all later. Y'all be good. Bye, Kimaj. Bye, E. Brooks. See y'all later.